Hey there, your Chica Sonia here in the city of Chicago, and this is an update on real estate and what's going on. Obviously, definitely lots of precautions for showings and going into seller properties. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sonia Figueroa. I am a real estate broker with eXp Realty. I've been doing this for 15 years and I've never saw it as crazy as this time with this pandemic and the corona. And of course, everyone's scared. Everyone doesn't know what's going to happen with the real estate market. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? We just don't know, but I'm here to update you on what's happening right now. I'm going to start off with what's happening with the buyers right now. There are showings still happening. The governor of Illinois had stated that we are considered essential workers as well as lawyers and accountants, so we can still show. Obviously, it's recommended to stay home and not to come out. There are extenuating circumstances, for example, for my situation where I do have buyers that I have to show. They're practically kind of homeless right now, so I just need to show them in order to get something and help them out. But there are still mostly virtual showings happening for buyers right now. What's happening with the actual process of buying right now is lenders are still giving out pre-approval letters. In terms of home inspections, home inspectors are still inspecting homes. However, without the buyer, or if the buyer can be on FaceTime, for example, no home buyer, the inspector's just doing it on his own, wearing gloves, wearing a mask, and just, all by himself. But home inspections are still happening. On the appraisal home front, that's appraisals they're doing the appraisal virtually. They're having the seller do a FaceTime with them to show them around the property. If the property is vacant, then most likely the appraiser will go in there and, obviously with protection and a lot of disinfectant, and just do the appraisal that way. Minimal time. They're in there within 5-10 minutes at the most. For closings are also still happening here. However, everything is being done remotely. The notary and title agent are working remotely, and the attorney and the buyer on the buyer's side, they're working within the title company facility. They're using each one has a pen, and it has to be disposed right after all the signing of the documentation happens, and really minimal. So realtors are no longer allowed at closings, nor lenders. Only the essential people that are buying the property and their attorney. The seller's not present either. If the seller has to be present, that person is going to go in a separate room, and everyone with masks and also gloves as well, and of course hand sanitizers. If the closing has to be extended, there is an addendum, a COVID addendum, that gets signed for an extension of that closing. I did a video on the addendum, so you can click right here or right here regarding that addendum, so you can check it out. Now, on the seller side, sellers, is it a good time to put your property on the market? If you're not in a hurry, it's not suggested. Just wait a little longer until this, kind of dies out a little bit in terms of this whole pandemic. If you are in critical need of selling, I do have some sellers that need to sell as soon as possible because they have emergencies, different situations for sellers. In my case, I have a seller right now that is in North Carolina. I'm in Chicago, and they are sitting on 2 mortgages, and they just need to sell as soon as possible. So luckily their home is vacant. But what sellers are doing, if sellers do need to sell, are they're turning on all the lights. They're leaving the property. They'll sit in their cars, and they'll allow the realtor and the client, to the buyer, to come inside the property. Sellers are also having hand sanitizers given right at the front of the door, so they can sanitize their hands and have masks. It's recommended that the buyer bring their own mask as well. There are listing agents out there that are helping the sellers out, that have an actual document that gets signed before the appointment is made, and that document says if anyone is sick, please do not show. Make sure that you have a hand sanitizer with you at all times possible, and also wear masks and gloves too. So if document doesn't get signed, then they won't allow the buyers to go into the property, just as a safety precaution for everyone. Of course, it is recommended that if you're looking to purchase, if you're as a seller, you're looking to sell, to do a virtual tour. A lot of the sellers are now not allowing the buyer to go in. However, they are allowing for like a FaceTime video, for example, and for the home buyer to look at the property, to show every nook and cranny of the home, including the garage. Or they're allowing their realtor to do that for the other realtor, the buyer's realtor, as well. So these are some of the things that are happening here in my Chicago market. Feel free to, if you have any other questions, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll keep you posted on what's next. So stay safe if you can, stay at home if all possible, and just take care. And we are a resilient country. This will, as they say, this too shall pass.